It's been done before.
Look at you settling in, all of a sudden turning into a different person.
I'm not turning into a different person.
Oh, see, it's happening. It's happening. Like, we were having a good conversation. We were chopping it up, talking about a favorite, whatever we were talking about, and all of a sudden you cross your legs.
I cross my legs when I do every show.
Interlace your fingers.
This is my posture.
Cock your head to the side. You are a whole new man. Look at this kayfabe.
Round 4, and we're already fighting. I'm RJ Young.
I'm Ron Taylor.
This is, I heard that, the RJ Young podcast. Ron, I gave a list of topics. Which one do you want to start with?
I don't care. Go for it.
Okay.
We're here for a good time.
Is Bijan Robinson going to save Tom Herman's job in year 4?
No.
Okay. Well,
okay. Next topic.
Texas-friendly channel.
Right. Tom Herman. First off, Bijan Robinson, really good. Mm-hmm. I think that he's if he gets to when he gets to this next level, I see him as like Sony Michel. He's really good, makes a cut and runs for daylight. I love it. Doesn't care about what's behind him, which is really fine because he's always going to be going the direction that he cares about forward, right? Bijan Robinson's not going to save Texas because I don't think anything, or not going to save Tom Herman because I don't think anything could save Tom Herman from Texas and the people that want Texas to be great. Do you remember what you told me not too long ago about Texas never really being this true old money program that has just tons of years of success? That if you were to look at the years just going back, besides Mac Brown winning a national championship and the Darrell Royal years, right? Darrell Royal?
Yeah. 68, 69, they won 30 straight.
Yeah. That's kind of it for Texas. They're basically just a Big Ten school down south, which is fine. They got the biggest school in Texas, number one brand. It's great, but they don't have this history of greatness that everybody seems to think that they should have. There's too many people that have been freebasing the ESPN ad, but they didn't have Vince Young for too long, and it has poisoned the well. I'd love for Tom Herman to have some success because better Texas does, the better OU looks in relation. But, a 9-win season is not going to cut it. I don't even know if a 10-win season is going to cut it.
10-win season seemed to make them very happy last year, even if it took 14 games to get it.
Okay, but how many 10-win seasons do you think that a Texas booster is going to be able to be like, cool, 10 wins? 10 wins again? No playoff? Maybe a playoff? That Tom Herman is going to be able to just stay. And them not trying to look for another wonderkind to turn Texas into.
That's the legacy of Texas, is to look for another wonderkind, which Charlie Strong was supposed to be, right?
Right.
And it didn't turn out to be that way. Mac Brown looked the part, and we're going to look back at what Mac Brown was able to do and say, you know what? He overperformed. He really did overperform.
Yes.
Because, when Mac Brown had great coordinators, they were really, really good. When they had okay coordinators, they were still good. They weren't ever bad. And then toward the end, they got to be very bad. But the reason I brought up Bijan Robinson is because he is a 5-star tailback.
Yes.
You say you believe his comp is Sony Michel. 247 would say Alvin Kamara, right?
Okay.
I don't think that he is half the pass catcher out of the backfield that Alvin Kamara is, and that's really what makes Alvin Kamara the dude.
Yes.
Right? But it's really the statistics and the stories about Bijan that I really love. Start with his uncle, right? Patrick played in the NFL. His first year in the league, rushed for over 1,000 yards. Not terrible, right? Pretty damn good running back at Arizona.
Cincinnati?
Yes, that's where he drafted first, right? So a couple years in the league, but then you put Bijan's statistics up against anybody else's, and you go, oh, okay, so this is what a 5-star looks like. 126 carries, 2,235 yards.
Golly.
17.7 yards per carry.
Goodness.
Receiver numbers. 17.7 yards per carry.
So I looked up this kid not too long ago.
38
I was
rushing
watching some
touchdowns.
tape of him, and I thought that I was watching a highlight tape, and it was really just
Game tape.
Just game tape. This kid takes it to the house a lot. And I mean, I really love the way that he runs in open field.
So 126 carries, 38 rushing touchdowns. Conservative estimate, more than a quarter of his touches go for TDs.
Yeah.
And he had over 100 carries. It gets better because it's one thing to look at the statistics that he was running, but it's also interesting to look at what other people have had to say about him, right? So one of my favorite is Jose Lucero, who was a coach at Desert Edge in Goodyear, Arizona, right? He gave this. He said, I thought we defended him really well his junior year, and he still ran for almost 200 yards. He rushed for 430 and 6 touchdowns on 13 carries against them at one point.
Yeah.
430 on 13.
Mm-hmm. And they played solid defense. They game plan like nobody's ever game planned before.
He said, you can be in the right spot at the right time, but he's such a talented athlete that he has the ability to make one or two guys miss, or, 11. Because, everything's a house call.
Yeah.
Everything's a house call. I love that. Dude rushed for over 7,000 yards in high school. Right? Which, by the way, is a number that I keep seeing pop up. Like Kennedy Brooks at OU had those numbers.
7,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And when you think about what it takes to rush for 7,000 yards in 4 years. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. But assuming that you started small and then got bigger as your years going along. So you're a super freshman. You rushed for 1,300 yards that first year. That last year, 2,400, 2,500?
Yo, all right. So last story about Bijan coming from another coach. This is the coach at Tucson High, which is the magnet school. So he says, I haven't seen a player his size who can cut back, start and stop, and then accelerate into the second level the way he does. That he said 19 years of coaching, he's the best athlete I've ever seen, which makes a lot of sense because that's what I tell everybody about a 5-star. If you'd seen a 5-star play football live, you would swear up and down it's the best football player who ever lived. Because that's just what he is. Yes. That's what a 5-star player is. That's not what the best player who ever lived is. That's what a 5-star player is. Because high school is high school. Over 1 million dudes played high school football last year.
Yes.
11,000 get to play FBS football.
Very true. There's definitely, we've all played with somebody that was what we would consider all world, that would whip us up and down. Like, can you believe that a person like this actually existed? 3-star. Right.
Josh Jacobs. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs. 3-star. And he didn't get any stars until Alabama offered him.
Right.
He'd also be the first person to tell you that. Shout out Josh Jacobs. But I also want to get there by saying Bijan Robinson by himself in a Mike Yurcich offense probably works. But it works because Mike Yurcich would say, hey, I got Secretary in the backfield, and I'm going to run him. But one of the other things that I would tend to look at when we talk about this kid is Roschon Johnson is in front of him as the second best tailback at Texas, and Keontae Ingram, who's the number 1. And you return Sam Cosmi on your offensive line. You ought to be decent enough at running the ball, but you're also going to be using a different offense, so we'll see what that means. What I find most interesting about him and how he might fit into what they're doing is he doesn't necessarily need to work in space, right? What I mean by that is if you want to get him out like an Alvin Kamara, you could probably do that. But what he needs to have is probably a 2 tight end set, and you run it out of what we might call ace.
Yeah.
21 personnel.
Who were you talking about last week? That kid that could do anything in a phone booth. Bijan.
We were talking about Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. Okay, so Travis Etienne, good comparison. He can do anything. He can make something out of nothing. Bijan Thompson is not a something out of nothing type.
Bijan Robinson.
I'm sorry. Bijan Robinson is not a make something out of nothing type.
No, but would you say that he is he a Mike Shanahan back?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
what I mean by 2 tight end set.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you give him a wide lane to run through so that he can make a cut and go, yeah, no, it'll be great. If he has to take a toss sweep and juke, at least if he has to make a person miss, especially if they got him dead to rights, it might not be his speed for Texas. We'll see how it works out how they game plan, or what kind of positions they put him in. I agree with you. I think 2 tight end set, 1 cut and go, and then watch magic happen after that.
On the other hand, I also think that they're so thin at running back. I mean, I know that Texas fans are happy about getting Daniel Young going, and we'll see what Jordan Whittington turns out to be. A couple of dudes that not a whole lot of people would know about unless they follow Texas football, right? The dude that I think complements him the best also plays slot receiver, and that's Jake Smith, because if you're able to get Jake Smith out in space, you're going to be okay. Thing is, he plays the same position that Devin Duvernay played last year, and Devin Duvernay was a 10.2 second 100-meter sprinter who was also your best weapon. If they work in concert, I think they're okay. But it also means that your quarterback's going to be more than okay. And I have reservations about whether or not Sam Ehlinger can do the job. So could Bijan Robinson save him? Probably not. But could the trifecta that is Sam Ehlinger, Bijan Robinson, and Jake Smith save him? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That was mostly my point, and that was where I was going with this.
No, I mean, when it comes to, I don't think anything's going to save Tom Herman in the long run.
Ooh, all right. So you're saying that Tom Herman gets fired next year?
2 years. 3 years.
You just fired your staff, effectively. You effectively fired your staff because you got new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new defensive staff.
Right.
So, like,
no, he's
short of winning the Big 12 championship.
He's already made the statement that I hold people accountable for their actions. Therefore, I've fired my staff, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something about the thing that I've been doing.
Well,
right?
Look. Herm also is nothing if not Mike Gundy in different clothes.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do the way that I want to do it. Difference is Mike Gundy is a made man in Stillwater.
I was about to say, did he come from the soil?
Nobody is a made man in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Daryl K. Royal.
Nope.
For whom the stadium is named after. So, again, it's just one of the topics that I wanted to discuss because we're at a time in which Texas feels like this 2020 year, like 2019, it's going to be their year. Even as they went 8-5 last year and they played their best game against LSU and then didn't play their second best game until Utah because, well, they were either hurt or outgunned.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for Texas to be outgunned, and yet they are. And if you're going to run this offense with Mike Yurcich and you're asking Tom Herman to keep his hands off the controls, there's just too many variables at work here. That's all. Also leads me to Larry Fedora being the new offense coordinator at Baylor, who was an analyst at Texas last year. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I love most about analyst positions, he made $25,000 as an analyst at Texas. Pulled in $3 million from his buyout in UNC.
Out here being a minimum wage job as a college football analyst. Where can I sign up for that?
And the scuttle is he would have made 50, but he made less because he brought his son with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris Ash was also a defensive analyst for Texas. He's now a defensive coordinator. Or excuse me. He was a defensive analyst after he got fired from Rutgers.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty sweet part-time gig.
Yeah.
If this YouTube stuff doesn't work out, if nobody signs up for these Patreon subscriptions.
No more memberships.
Football analyst. Way to go.
Nah. They hate me.
I mean, in the sense that like defenses hate these 5 tricks that RJ Young does. You gonna hit him with the spam offense, spam defense?
No, I just generally think that for the most part, right? Me on your staff means me on your staff.
All right. Well, it is true that you are generally unpleasant. I've heard rumors.
That is why so many people have signed up for this, be subscribed to this YouTube channel.
Very true.
Just to show up to troll me, I'm sure. So I wanted to go from that into playbooks.
Okay.
Because I stumbled across this Banner Society article, which is really good, about what everybody thinks a playbook is and what a playbook actually is, right? And everybody who ever played NCAA in their lives or Madden feels immediately trolled because they're like, hey, everybody thinks a playbook looks like this. And it shows you, cover two man under.
Yeah, say what do you imagine that people think of the playbook that any particular school or team has? What do you think that they have in their hands? Just kind of a notebook, college ruled, some plays drawn on it.
I have no idea what lay people might think.
Okay.
Right? Like people who aren't steeped in football. But I think people that like football fans, they like to think there's like 6 plays a page, contained in each box.
Okay.
Just ding, ding, ding,
Right.
ding, ding.
Pro set.
Yeah.
Trips wide.
Right. 100%.
Okay.
Right? This is everything we're running out of ace. And it's basically the same play from another play, just in a different formation.
Right.
So, halfback blast is halfback blast. Just, hey, now this halfback blast out of ace, running through the same hole, right? That's what it is. It's like, what is taking? What's blast? What's ISO? Because anybody else would be like, yo, we're going to run 37 counter. Okay? Sorry, what? I heard counter. Which way we run it? Yeah, the holes.
37 counter.
Which way we running?
Anyway, so go ahead about these playbooks.
I think that's what they think. I think they look like index cards that are just pasted in.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's what they think.
I think a lot of people imagine that if you play football or most sports, so the scout team playbook, which is just some plays that some dude threw up on some 3 rings.
Ooh, okay, all right.
These are the plays.
What did your scout team play caller use to call the plays in high school?
Oh, we just had like this some laminated. If they were laminated, here, do this. You're this person. It's kind of like a zone. Go.
Yo. All right. So at the time, right, scout team tailback, and this is at Memorial, so I'm a senior, right? And Coach Reed is the offensive line coach. Coach Reed has a laminated play card, right, on a ring, like on a ring. So he would kind of flip the page, hold it up. Hey, just like you're here. This is kind of like counter. All right, execute.
Kind of like counter.
Kind of like counter.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a second. How is anything kind of like counter?
No, give them a good look.
But my favorite, we had no concept of like what the veer concept was. And yet we needed to know what the veer concept was to give a good look. Yo, coach, so it's the option. Sorta. Yo, coach, it's power run. No.
RJ, this is not your time to shine. Just run the play.
Coach,
What's the philosophy behind this?
I vividly remember my man asking quite simply, yo, coach, am I going to flap step with my first step, right? Or am I going down block? What am I doing? Give a good look.
Child, you're not getting extra credit for this.
Like he was trying to know what to do with his first step.
What's my motivation?
Oh my God.
Where am I looking? What am I supposed to be doing with my
Right,
hands?
right. You're really going stage right or stage left. Like, this is what you're doing. That's where you're at. So that, right? I imagine that is what people think a playbook looks like. But I like your description of what a playbook actually is, which is an employee manual.
It is the most boring thing.
Until you walk into some of it, which is amusing to people who put together playbooks.
That, like, to me, the industry of putting together playbooks is wild. I think we might underrate how much a coaching staff actually does, because if you look at all these playbooks, they're talking about things that they want to do, philosophies of the play, dates that they want to install parts of the offense, teams that they're going to play, and then the teams that they are going to play with, like, mini scouting reports of them, detailed rosters, and then also like emergency numbers. Have you thought about this is how many calories are in this meal? Legalese, that is, please do not give this playbook to anybody else under threat of legal action. It is. What? Oh, and then so me. I mean, I'm a halftime graphic designer, and there's all of these graphics, all of this art and copy that's inside the book that somebody in, I don't know, the media department or an intern someplace, or like the kid at the end of the bench is like, okay, also make it pretty.
Yo. All right, I'm supposed to make pretty your okay. To me, a playbook, like what I honestly think a playbook is The Devil Wears Prada.
Okay.
Okay? I believe a playbook is the book. Is the book that everybody is trying to give some insight into, and you're adding all these things to it, and you bring it to Miranda Priestley's door for her to go through it one last time before you go to publishing. But you want to make sure that your idea got into it, because you want to see yourself represented in this book that's going to go out to the masses.
Right.
But you also want to make sure you please her. And in pleasing her, you better make sure you hit all the things that she likes. And those things are the most important. And more than that, they're more important than the thing itself.
Right.
And that's a playbook. In that, yo, coach, I need to know what our philosophy is. Sure. I need to know what our sets are. Absolutely. I need to know what plays we like to run the most. Quite certainly. I don't need to know that the defense wants to hunt, stalk, be a nightmare, control the offense.
Right.
I generally understand those things, right?
Also, none of that needed to be folded into a movie quote.
But, oh man. All right, so one of my favorite facts about Gus Malzahn's 2010 offensive playbook is we are going to be fast and furious, which is a Dom Toretto just note.
Or Bush administration. I'll let you have Fast and Furious.
We're not going to have any stupid penalties because, kids set out to make stupid penalties. That's why they play football.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, the other part about this that I genuinely enjoy is the air of pretentiousness that goes into what you've written down. Because as a person who writes stuff down and has for money for a very long time.
You're a writer, right?
I got a blog.
Okay.
So what you do, right, is remove all the pretentious crap from what you're writing unless it's absolutely about being pretentious.
Right. Okay.
But football coaches write like teenage girls with a Zanga that they expect their boyfriends to stay up on.
Oh my goodness.
It is.
That's a wild shot. You're not wrong though.
But
look,
all right. Let me find this bit where your man's Les Miles, whose playbook was 480 friggin' pages, has a soliloquy on what the captain is supposed to do on his football team. Mm-hmm. This is 96. This is Oklahoma State Cowboys in 1996. He got a 480 page playbook.
Okay.
For what? For how?
There's so much of that play. He probably had a large playbook because if you think about the type of plays that Les Miles likes to run, he probably has 100 formations where he runs to the 2-hole. So yeah, that takes up a lot of pages.
And there's a fullback in every single formation.
But you guys also have to account for the times where there isn't a fullback. So you double up on that.
I've never seen so many Jacob Hester references in my life.
But there's so many like attack helicopter quotes that nothing can be. There's nothing you can't do with enough effort. Nothing in this life is easy. Nothing good comes from stuff like that.
Hey,
right?
Hey, coach, did they win Black Hawk Down? Walking it with phrase just like that.
Who did?
Right. Phrase it just like that. Just like that. Did they win Black Hawk Down?
Yeah, somebody won.
All right, so I found this bit of the captain's responsibilities, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs in the 1996 Oklahoma State playbook. Okay. Our captain is the highest representative honor a man can hold on the team. It brings with it responsibilities to his teammates, his coaches, and his university. It means he has been chosen to lead and represent a very select group in the most competitive of sports. We elect captains after our preseason practices are over and after the hardest work has been done. We do it at this time so that the men that are elected have had a chance to prove their leadership in adverse situations, to lead when times had been tough and grueling. Our captains have let their teammates.
Yeah.
Have let their teammates to another level and proven worthy of a captainship. Because it's the first time I've actually seen captainship used in phrase. When you choose your captains, remember to ask, quote, is this the man I want to represent what I stand for, end quote, comma, quote, is this the man I want to lead me to another level athletically, end quote, question mark, period, and lowercase and. Is this the man I want to represent our team in public and with the media? Big bad media. If you are chosen to be our captain, your on-the-field performance must be exemplary. Your attitude about our team must be one that everyone admires. Your leadership must inspire others, and your character must symbolize our team's character. Your responsibilities include game day, decision-making, team representation with the media, because big bad media.
Of course.
Decision making with the coaches. By that we mean we make decisions and you perform those decisions for which we made. Policy making, yeah, right. And enforcement procedures of what? Daily practice, leadership, pre-meal grace, and university-wide representation as our spokesman and leader. This is a great honor, and only the most honorable should be chosen. To which I have so many questions. Among them, has there ever been an atheist captain for Les Miles?
There has to have been.
Okay.
But I think that Les Miles, if you let him get his hooks into you, you'll absolutely throw a couple amens in there before you get into the spaghetti. Absolutely you would. You absolutely would believe in that that the song that played through his head as he wrote those words is the God's honest truth. Les Miles is on one.
Yeah, and this is 96.
I know.
It's 96. And you know what we can't take away from that man? The 2007 National Championship.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Never mind, Bo Pelini probably run that more than he did.
He was good. They were good.
The defense was
being a head coach is being a manager of a business trying to succeed. Les Miles was good at that.
Yo, man.
LSU got a national championship out of it.
Yo, man,
Les
Miles is also a buster. Les Miles would narc you out to the NFL scouts by posting it on his door, whom he says you probably should consider not drafting.
Sounds like business as usual.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, captain, policy making. Yo, man, you have dudes out there that you're doing what? You're responsible for flipping a coin? Not even flipping a coin. Calling the toss.
I bet you that whoever was the captain had to recite that verbatim back to him.
Yo, man, that's a lot of words.
Surely is.
Oh, man.
Why else would you have a 500-page playbook if you didn't want people to memorize it? In 1996.
In 1996.
Give 18-year-old Ron 500 pages to read.
Yo, man.
Guess I'm not being part of this team.
I'm about to say, when am I supposed to go to class?
You didn't come here to play school.
Prentice Elliott. Les Miles played Prentice Elliott, correct?
He did.
Or I got that flipped. Prentice Elliott played for Les Miles, and then Les Miles left the job, and then Mike Gundy decided,
there you go.
All right, Prentice. Deuces.
I've had enough of this.
Man. And you know what?
That's actually who Bijan reminds me of when he's running the ball.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Greatest Oklahoma high school football player of all time?
Neither here nor there. It's just one of those things that I saw.
Bijan.
It's just a little bit too local of a reference. I'm glad that I absolutely made it out loud 10 hours into this podcast. But he reminds me of Prentice, which is Good.
It's best.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Hopefully he's not outside the club busting out shots talking about white tea gang. But
Yo, man. My head football coach at Memorial threatened to fight him in a gym. Like Memorial basketball, and I guess it's McLean, are playing at Memorial, and Prentice is acting buck wild with his posse, and Mike Adams said, "I will whoop your ass." What's up?
all right, so this is what I want to see,
Grown ass man was like,
because I read the comments. This is one thing that I would love for people to just write down those blue chip dudes who could have been, but they were knuckleheads. So give me your best local dude who's like wild. Please, this is just for me.
Okay. Lala Zato.
They got him. They out there.
Everybody knows one.
Please fill my book.
Everybody knows one.
Tell me the story that derailed the train.
So on the other hand of the 480-page playbook is the dude that's like, what playbook? This is the playbook.
Yeah. No,
right
first
here,
off.
right here. It's in my head.
I just need to run it once. It'll be fine.
So we have coaches that want to install so much of the playbook on day 1, day 2.
Yes.
It might take you all 15 of your spring practices to install the playbook. Right? Mike Leach and his disciples, for the most part, 1 day, 2 days, tops. We got like 30, 40 plays, but we run like 7. We just run them out of a million formations.
Right.
So, once you got the formations down, you know what the play is. Like,
To me, those are the offenses that you do have the flip cards, like pro set, trips wide, double tight, right? Single back. It's okay. We only run 5 plays.
They're all 4 verticals.
Yeah.
That's what they are. All of those plays are 4 verticals.
But you absolutely need to know where to line up and where we're going to shift. But it's the same play. Don't worry about it.
Man. And even so, like the only person that actually needs to know is quarterback. So that he can look at the wide receiver and be like, nah, man, on that side. Nah, man, you're off.
To me, that's the best part of it. Like, hey, man, I don't know what this is. It's cool. I got you. Here, look at my homework.
But for real. So one of my favorite things about the 49ers is Emmanuel Sanders has an opportunity to play on the Super Bowl team, right?
Yeah.
But when he was traded at the time, he's wide receiver, 1. And 2, he don't know the playbook. He just got here. So they run him out there because he's a great wide receiver. And Jimmy G called a play and said, Manuel, you're doing this on this play. If you see this, do that. And Manuel was like, cool, got it. Because, yes, that's what it is.
Right.
The only dude that actually needs to know the playbook, top to bottom, is the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else literally can look to him and be like, I wrote down the answers here, right here. Just read them.
No,
I tell them to you.
You see it in games wherever a team is getting like some bad luck for a injury bug, right? So now you're down to the tailback that, or better yet, just a wide receiver because they don't want to break a red shirt on somebody, and the quarterback's like, so we're doing this. It's fine, and the offense moves along. Like, it's not as great as it could have been, but it's like, as long as there's one person that knows. Which
reminds me, you had mentioned about the person that at your school that was just would have been that dude, except had some trouble with authority. There's a dude that came into the comments of this video that I made about Todd Monken. You can go find this one, and it says, because I was like, if Kirby Smart would get out of James Coley's Kool-Aid last year, maybe they would have opened up the playbook and done stuff with more than 2 wide receivers. Okay. Not only does James Coley get demoted, he gets demoted in such a way that he's like, you know what, the hell with this. I'm going to go to Texas A&M. I'll be their tight ends coach. After being the offensive coordinator at Georgia. And was going to be, associate head coach, assistant head coach for Kirby Smart. But this is after he brought in Todd Monken, right? Todd Monken, who, yes, absolutely gets around. And my buddy Steve's like, I want to be his realtor. But Todd Monken, who apparently, dude in the comments goes, yeah, Todd Monken, played with him in high school. He's my quarterback. He's calling the plays then. And I'm like,
yep,
that dude right there. Mm-hmm. No. Coach, he called, no, I'm the coach. Run this.
Look at me.
Willie Beeman.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Willie Beeman in the huddle, changing the plays in the huddle. The plays that you called that I love, because Julian's a snitch. But point there being, some dudes just gonna be like, no. You square in, you run the post, you run the go. One of y'all is gonna be open.
Football's played on the field.
But also gets me back to the dude with no playbook. I've seen Mike Leach's playbook at Oklahoma. I know he has one, but he don't have one. My man.
No, they forced it. Here's the thing. They said, Mike, you can't just come to the office and play Minesweeper all day. You must give us a playbook. And he's like, can I have an intern? Sure, whatever. I would love to see the portion that he actually wrote. It's probably just Pac-Man printouts.
I have it on that computer over there, and I will show it to you. But it's something akin to eating dots. Right.
Yeah.
A lot of that. So one of my favorite stories about Mike Leach is it's in this great athletic piece that is. It's an oral history, right? It's an oral history by each of these quarterbacks played for him at Washington State and elsewhere, but mostly Washington State. And he had one quarterback, I believe it was Connor Halliday, for which he just sent in a formation to Connor Halliday.
Yes.
Right. And Connor kept doing one of these, like, come on, what's the rest of the play? You send it again. And he sent in the formation, and then Connor calls timeout. And Mike, yo, what the hell you doing? Calling timeout. Coach, you sent me a formation. Yes, now call a play. But you supposed to call the play. You're the quarterback. You see it. I'm not playing. Go call the play. To your joke, I can't run it for you. Like, call the play. It was like, and the idea that any coordinator, let alone a head coach, would put the power of play calling in the quarterback's hands. Like, what am I, Johnny Unitas? What is this, 1967?
Right? Football's played on the field. But if you have somebody, that's got to be such. We're talking about Mike Leach. This got to be such he's just messing with your head, because this whole season he's been calling plays. Then he's like, "Hey, watch this."
No, that was Mike Price.
But I'm just saying, it's like,
yeah, he could be messing with you. Nah, Matt Hayes got to follow around Mike Price while he was at Washington State, and by following around, I mean like up and down the sideline with a notebook.
Right.
And like Mike Price would look around at him and be like, "Have I called this yet? Do you know? What do you do? What are you writing down then? Have I called this? Hey, Matt, what should we run here? You've seen enough. What do you think?" I want to be that dude. I want to have that kind of freedom as a head coach to be like, let's let this dude do it. He watches a lot of football. I got a play to catch. I got some dollar bills to throw.
Like, football's not that hard. Anybody can do it. I've set people up for success. Whatever you run, it's probably gonna be pretty good. I don't have anybody on my staff that's a big old dummy. So I that double reverse flea flicker kind of bit him.
Oh. And you know what I find is when that happens, right? Nobody's got their play dialed up. They always just go, yeah, let's 22 dive? No? Okay. Well, it's safe. It'll work. Nah, me? I already got mine drawn up.
Oh, what's that? What's your? This is the free play that you got. It's 2nd and 4.
Ooh.
We're at the 50.
So wide open. So the whole book is open to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Do what you want.
Empty.
Okay.
Empty. Give me the wider splits. All right. I want the ones where we got to hold hands to make sure that we're wide enough, and then we drop the hands because we straight up pass block and we in 2-point stands. We're not gonna try to pretend. All right. And we're running straight goes. That's it. That's all we're doing. I got 3 goes to one side. I got 2 goes to the other side. And I'm back here doing Johnny Manziel with the football because that's what I would do in the NCAA.
Right.
So the play call is actually called quarterback. That's all it's called. It's called quarterback. Because my quarterback is going to beat you. This is my Cam Newton play.
I see. Okay.
This is me going, somebody's open, and I could probably throw it to him. But I like just watching y'all run off, and then me doing the thing where I run downfield, ducking and dodging people. That's my play call. Just quarterback.
I like it.
No,
it's just good. No, that's a good one.
But I mean, like, for real, like, why would I do some gadgetry stuff? My favorite player, and the best player to ever play college football is Cam Newton. I want to put the ball in the hands of the best player who ever played the game. He could throw it.
I was about to say, but you also
He could throw it.
that Cam Newton, I think, is kind of antithetical to what you just said.
I don't think so.
I don't think that I'm not a big, as you say, I'm not a big fan of gadget plays, but he was being puppeted by the king of gadget plays.
Okay. All right.
The best quarterback of all time.
Fine.
I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Fine. Let's just run student body right then, Ron. Okay. Let's just pull. Let's pull both guards. Let's pull the center.
Ooh, I like it.
Let's pull everybody.
Can we out of the Maryland eye? Can we do that? Full house backfield? Yes.
What are we doing with the two fullbacks here? What are we doing?
Well, first off, they're both faking handoffs.
So the near formation bugs me.
Okay.
It bugs me.
Why?
Like, what am I gonna do with these dudes parallel to each other?
Anything that you want. World's your oyster.
It just bugs me. It bugs me like it bugs old people, like the pistol bugs old people. Oh. They can't stand it.
When did you hear?
What is this half shotgun stuff you're running?
Oh, it's so good. It's the football umami, the pistol formation. I love it. Yo, can we take a break?
Are you okay?
No, I'm good.
You asked for the break. You okay?
Yeah, no, fantastic. Had to go handle some phone calls. Getting some stuff overnighted from Japan. Some phone calls coming in from Russia.
And you make sure you get your money on time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. They're still out there working for you?
We don't talk about it. I don't want y'all to blow up my spot, dog.
I mean, you're just making some loud phone calls.
I had some loud business to take care of. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, just, calm down. I don't want you to bring anybody here. So while you were making your phone calls, making sure that you get your money on time, LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant in points scored all time in the NBA, which I thought would be a good segue into Zion Williamson.
Yes. To talk about Zion Williamson,
well, with the
good
efficiency for which he is scoring baskets, he could be there. Now, my man has played 2 games, but in those 2 games, he's been really, really good.
That is.
So much so that Alvin Gibson's like, yo, calm down.
He has to. No, well, let's say he has to because everybody is going to be asking questions like, hey, shouldn't you be playing Zion a little bit more? It's like, yo, chill. Dude just got back. Give him a second. It's like, but he's putting up 18 points in 7 minutes. Don't you think that would be very valuable? And Alvin Gentry being a professional coach is going to be like, yes, absolutely it is. But he just came back from rehab or sitting him out or teaching him how to walk or whatever.
Brandon Ingram put up 49 in one game this year.
That he did.
Okay. Drew Holiday's still good.
Yes.
Okay. What's the holdup, Alvin? Push. Now. The children are ready to go. What are we building toward, David Griffin? If not this right now. The man had a full 6-7 months to get his knees right. Okay? He ain't going to be here for a long time because he just ain't built to be here for a long time.
Oh, ain't that sad?
He built here, be here for a good time. Let's have us a good time.
He's here to jump into orbit and come down like an asteroid, like a meteorite.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the part of this that, yes, we all know that part, right? That's the part that gets the tickets bought. He's got a jump shot, Ron.
I know. He's actually quite...
He went 4 for 4 from 3 in his first game in the NBA at 6'6", 280. If you even got to respect that shot at 2 of 4.
And he's got this young man quickness.
And he's not mellow. He does not need the ball.
And so the idea that this dude that's 6'6", 280 or 300, he's living in New Orleans, they got good food, that if you decide to play up on him, he's just going to muscle his way past you if he's not already just straight up faster than you and do what he wants.
So thing I needed to throw in here is how few people or how little people appreciate your man Zion. Okay.
Yeah.
Tickets to see the Lakers play the Knicks with AD and LeBron on the floor. How much they go for?
Which seats? Where?
Average.
150.
$426.
Ooh.
Tickets to see your man Zion's debut. What do they go for?
$500.
$51.
$51? Oh, wow.
Dollars.
American?
American. Until we start, when we start accepting Canadian money, when we,
No, we could have.
annex the
Here's the thing:
country.
we could have caught a round trip flight there, bought tickets, probably in some place that's decent.
for the same amount of money.
Yeah, and gone to see this dude's debut of this future Hall of Famer.
Of course, we got to work because, real jobs and stuff.
I feel like you've built a life for yourself that you can do this on the road. I've seen the hotel vids. You're fine.
Yo, first of all, Motel 6 is just fine.
Okay.
Okay. Second of all, I highly recommend every Best Western. Okay.
They will leave the light on for
Okay.
you.
The Sure Stay, also very nice. Nice kitchenette. So we don't need to worry about that part of it.
Okay.
But I to say that we are frugal when we are on the road.
Well, that's a shame. I feel like you should live it up whenever you have a chance to get away from this particular zip code.
Let's drink the tap water. Why are you making that face, Bryan?
Who do you think I am?
Let's drink the tap water. Let's have a gourmet meal at the Shell gas station. Okay. You can get beef jerky. You can get a Gatorade.
Where are we going?
You can get a Coke 45.
We're talking about going to New Orleans for this, right? Gas station's just fine, but I do need a Voss.
You need a what?
I need a Voss water.
A Voss?
Yeah, in the glass bottle.
Not the Dasani? You can do it a Dasani?
With a Dasani?
You can do it a Dasani?
Okay, this is nonsense.
What? You trying to get you some Perrier?
No, expensive. Put it on your taxes. This is business expense.
It's like
go crazy.
Business expense. Everybody got expenses from me to business when it ain't their business to expense.
So when we going?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be the dude embarrassing you, talking about spitting out this water. There's something wrong with this water. Sparkling water, sir. That's what's wrong with it.
All right, so Zion's on the rails, right? So he's going to be an NBA starter, going to be a regular part of the rotation.
It's that Voss.
That's right, because he lives that high lifestyle, okay?
Does he? Because they had the Popeyes wingspan box.
That's not the high life? Voss and some Popeyes?
Voss and Popeyes? That's your jam?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Not Mother's?
If you want to, if you want to go ahead and give me my birthday gift, something for Christmas, yeah, pack of Voss and like a coupon to Popeye's chicken. Thank you very much.
I will hand it to your favorite stripper at Magic City.
The bookstore? Tulsa reference. I'm sorry.
No, you should have just left that.
Pardon
that
me.
was a great bit. Why did you screw that up?
I couldn't let that one stand.
Man, what? I just threw
cut
that
this.
off the glass.
Cut it off.
No. Just threw this off the glass to you. This was our Wade Broad moment, and what do you do but stare at it? Just
all you had to do is
apologize for it as it goes over your head.
Hopefully some young man enjoys that ball that landed in the stands.
Damn it.
Oh,
just got done dropping this Drake verse, and here you are, Future, staring at the handoff.
Back on defense.
Thought life was good.
So, all right, so he's a part of the regular rotation. Where do you see Zion going from here? Is he going to be? Do you see all-star games out of him? Is this something that he's going to push for, at least for this year? Push for like a rookie of the year?
I can't give a rookie of the year somebody play half a season.
We say fair enough, but you say he's here for a good time, not a long time. What would you put the over under on? How long he's going to be? This Zion that we know and love.
Until Gail Benson has to sell the team because she got involved with the Archdiocese business.
Okay, fair enough.
That was a long way away, but is still there because the hook is in, and the feds are going to be doing this here in just a second. And we know that David Stern had to take control of this once before.
No, I was about to say.
So, like I said, play him, Alvin, before you don't have an opportunity to play him ever again, because he will be property of the NBA government. And the NBA government might let him trade, not to LA, because we saw that how that worked out with Chris Paul. Because, you know, Adam Silver's going to hold up the legacy of David Stern. But what we need is straight up 38 minutes a night. Let's see what he got. And let's go until, I mean, maybe we got us another blowout. But there's no reason to soft pedal a dude with jetpacks on. Okay? The man got jetpacks attached to his booty. Why are we saying no? We gonna take it easy with the jetpacks? No, this is the end of the Mandalorian. All right.
Okay.
Bring out the Dark Blade earlier.
Okay.
All right. Forget all the setup. Give me the Dark Blade. Get it out now. Let's go. What are we doing?
I don't know.
This is why the witch is trash too, man.
Zion is the baby Yoda for me right now. It's just one like, gotta protect this kid.
Nah. You saw how them troopers treated that baby Yoda. He was fine. He's fine. See? Alvin. Take your P's and Q's from the dudes in the baby Yoda. Jason Sudeikis and whatnot. You know? Takai Waititi. They understand. They get it. You know? Nah, it's fine. You know, you can beat him up just a little bit. He'll still be able to do the hand thing like Carl Weathers said. Remember? Make the baby do the hand thing.
Make the baby do the hand thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, it worked. You know who's still alive? The baby. Baby around it to beat the hell out of Count Dooku. Remember that? I remember that.
The baby? Absolutely he did.
Yes. The baby did. While singing Suge.
Who was that? Christopher Priest?
My man said, right?
Christopher Hitchens? Christopher Lee?
Christopher Hitchens. He said, hey, you got much to learn you still have. And then we heard Suge come out the back. All right. Your man Zion is entertaining.
Absolutely.
Will he be an MVP in this league? Probably not. But as long as he gets to play, and gets to play a lot, I'm here for it. Man's 19. You know? If he's still playing basketball when he is 29, I will be shocked. So what are we guarding against? What are they hoping to make a run at? Because it ain't like they're going to go out there and sign some... Giannis ain't coming to New Orleans.
Never. So I imagine that they're trying to get some...
This is close
highlights, get people in the seats.
Yeah, but that's the NBA. That's the game,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, short of, like, he is your Trae Young. The Hawks suck. Trae Young's real good, but they're not. You know, if Doncic does not have Kristaps Porzingis and Tim Hardaway Jr. balling out, the Mavericks probably not that good, and he's been phenomenal. James Harden needed Russell Westbrook.
Truly, I don't know what the long-term game for Zion is. That you can surround him by some talent, but some talent is not going to get you anywhere in the NBA. So it's one of those that Zion's going to be doing the things that he's doing for the next 2 to 4 years, and then leave.
Some talent can have you pushing for the 6th seed.
It can. Okay, so some talent leads you to be the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Greater than the sum of their parts.
But
balling out without Steven Adams.
Some talent balling out of control for a 8-7 seed. And that's it.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Oklahoma City Thunder are entertaining and winning.
Right. So then that's what I'm saying is that that's not the place that you want to be as an NBA franchise. You either want to be terrible or great.
Wait.
You're doing it again. I can see you slipping into a different character. Where's RJ? You've disappeared.
He's over there with your Stanford professor who decided, no, we're going to be god awful to try to win us a championship. He got fired. He's Professor Stanford now, and they still ain't won no damn championship. Matter of fact, they might not be healthy enough to ever win a championship. I'm talking about the Philadelphia 76ers.
Absolutely.
Who were awful. and was like, "Nah, we stashing draft picks." Cool. Embiid's fine. Ben Simmons still won't shoot. Tobias Harris is hot and cold. Al Horford wants to play any other position but the one he is supposed to be playing. And Brett Brown gonna get fired if they do anything less than win the East. And you know what they're not gonna do?
Probably
win the East.
Mm-hmm. I think that it was a success. They ran into a buzzsaw. I think that what Sam Hinkie did was good. He did a good thing. It works. But it's not something that I think would be feasible as a fan or anybody that has to answer to stakeholders.
Your fans are your stakeholders.
So, you won a championship. They could have got one. They didn't.
So it doesn't work.
I think that it works. Let somebody else do it. But if you have somebody else do it, you're going to have to deal with everybody being very mad that your team is very bad for very long. And then hopefully they get very good in like a quick turnaround.
So leads me to also just kind of insert in here, Oklahoma City does not deserve this team.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, the Thunder fan base does not deserve this Oklahoma City Thunder team that is on pace to win 47 games that was supposed to win no more than 32.
Why? Or is there like a lack of appreciation that this team is giving way more than?
No, but it's because the suffering has never actually been there. When is this Thunder franchise had to suffer?
You remember that time that KD was out, and then that Russ had to carry the team while KD was out?
Yeah, I remember that they made the playoffs.
And they had like 50 wins. You remember how tough that season was? That's when they suffered. When they got gentlemen swept out of the first round.
The most suffering that OKC fans have ever suffered is watching KD chunk up the deuce. That was it. That's as close as it's been. Like, even Sam Presti wrote an op-ed in the paper of record in Oklahoma being like, yo, we're probably going to suck for a little bit. Just gird yourself. And then Chris Paul said, nah, I'm here.
So this is kind of like a gasping of the light type situation that this team is better than they should be because they should be bad. And should be a season where it's like, oh, well, we'll wait for next year.
Dennis Schroeder should have been traded, right? Danilo Gallinari should have been traded. Steven Adams should have been traded. Chris Paul probably still stuck with him because, as Tilburn Fertitta has said, that he's told a lot of people, worst contract they've ever seen in business.
Which one?
Chris Paul's contract.
Oh, yeah. It's not great.
Nah, my man get 38 this year and 44 next year.
I expect nothing less. That's my president.
To be fair, Chris Paul is also the dude that went straight at David and Alvin and Adam's neck about the Supermax. Like, you're putting the max and the Supermax in the CBA. You're doing it. Y'all gonna stay put? Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yo, dog.
A terrible contract is something that I would absolutely expect from the rulebook Jones of the NBA. That if he could get it, and you can give it to him, he'll have it.
Man, there's so many dudes with terrible contracts.
I mean that's sports.
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite things to talk about.
Jimbo Fisher.
$75 million over 10 years. You know who just got a raise to $42 million over 6?
Who's that?
The dude that won a national championship.
He did.
Yeah. Still don't make as much as Jimbo does, though.
Oh, he doesn't.
To not win a national championship, Texas A&M. To not only not win a championship, but to not make the SEC championship and be like, yo, I'm in the SEC West. What do you want from me? You knew that when you took the job. Yeah, that's why you're paying me. You're paying me because if I do get to the SEC championship, I'm going to be worth it. But you ain't got there. Well,
I would love I love the idea like Jimbo Fisher absolutely does not take any meetings outside of his office, and if you do meet him in his office, like, hey, the president, the athletic director wants to speak to you, and he's just in there polishing his Florida State ring.
Man,
hey guys, what can I do for you? Would you like a Voss?
So, dude, that would be the king trolling this like unintentionally savage move to perform. Mm-hmm. Everywhere I go, as the head coach at Texas A&M, I wear my 2013 national championship ring, to which I have on all of the paraphernalia that says Aggie, but I have the one piece that says I'm not you. I won. You did not. I'm not the problem. You're the problem.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's okay. So like on Twitter earlier today, right? Bill Connolly put out a tweet talking about returning production because the S&P Plus, which among other things has Ohio State listed as number one in the SEC S&P Plus, even as LSU won the national championship. I love the S&P Plus. I love Bill Connolly. Puts out this tweet about return production because returning production figures into the S&P because it makes a lot of sense, right? You return not just players, but dudes that performed well for you last year, you probably going to be pretty good the next year. So look, they return quarterback, wide receiver, running back. The fight for number 2 in the Big 12 is going to be outstanding. To which I responded, this is the most unintentionally awesome slaying that I've seen in some time. To which Conley says, I don't know if it was unintentional. Like he came back with that. It's like, I don't know if it was an accident. I was like, yes, Bill. Because, first, OU is OU. But second, I am not like you. Right? Jimbo Fisher. I'm not the problem.
Right.
Okay? Yo, we're paying you all this money. We're bringing in all the assistants that you want. We're stealing them from LSU. We're stealing them from Georgia.
Right. Good. Looks like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing.
So, like, my hope and prayer, if Texas A&M is able to win the SEC West, and if Texas A&M is able to win the SEC championship, and if Texas A&M is able to win a college football playoff semifinal, and if Texas A&M is able to win just its second national championship in the history of Texas A&M football, that they'll be hit with like 7 recruiting violations, that they'll be hit with booster violations, and that Jimbo Fisher will have taken a job at Oregon.
That potential national championship, does it stay on the board?
Oh yeah, like 2013 Florida State, but 2013 Florida State, like afterward,
Yeah.
on fire.
Okay.
Jameis Winston happened.
Totally worth it.
Hunting ground happened. Right. Recruiting just went off the rails.
Okay.
They have been in the dumpster for nearly a decade now because of what he was willing to set on fire to win a national championship. And you know what? Ampersand U wants to tell me and everybody else they're willing to do whatever it takes to win a national championship, to which I'm going, we're going to find out because Jimbo's that dude.
I can't wait.
Also, they traded athletic directors last year. I don't know if you got this or not.
No, miss out.
Yeah, they traded athletic directors. So the dude that left A&M went and got a national championship at LSU. The dude that left LSU is now 8-5 with A&M.
Cool. I guess we're about to go do good and commit crimes.
And in this Aggies roast that has kind of happened, let me add this. The Big 12 SEC challenge was Saturday.
Okay.
Oklahoma State got a W against Texas A&M. Some would say they avenged the loss they took in the Texas Bowl. I would say Oklahoma State got its first win in 2020, and it is January 25th. They hadn't won a basketball game since December 29th.
Repeat that back to me.
Oklahoma State had not won a basketball game since December 29th, which means they have begun the first 24 days of January without a win.
Ooh, that's tough.
Making them one of, at the time, just 3 teams across the Power 5 without a win in 2020. 24 days. And think about that. You play 2-3 games every week.
I was about to say, so do we need to make improvements? What's his name? Mike Boynton, right?
Yeah, Mike Boynton.
Is he in his office polishing up the ring, telling me I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing?
Meanwhile, the dude that used to be the head coach at Oklahoma State, Brad Underwood, coach Illinois, I believe they've won 6 straight, and they are sitting atop the Big Ten standings.
Everything is as it should be, I guess.
Oh my God!
Is that poetic justice?
So this also shows that I work in sports because I'm actually paying attention to this stuff and I'm able to draw these lines out and these dots and connect them.
Oh yeah, no, I saw the red string. Oh, you probably do something about it. It looks really serial killery. If you have people over, I don't want people to.
Look, the board is the board. Okay? Let's not mess with the board. I got it just how I want it. All right? We do have a signing day that's coming up, and I have some theories.
All right.
Okay? All right?
Out here flat circling your way through recruiting.
How do you think the number one recruit in the country ends up at Clemson, Ron? That's what the red yarn's for. Clemson doesn't get number one recruits, Ron.
Okay.
Again, that's what the yarn's for.
You disappeared for a second. Looks like you came back.
What is the point if I can't have a good time? What's the
We're
point
here for a good time, not a long time,
what's
right?
the point if I can't be Milton talking about how the kaiju are coming?
There's no point. We should
gotta
go ahead.
drift.
No, we should go
Just-
ahead and hang it up. Hang it up if that's the case.
Just let me drift with the kaiju. Just let me do it.
Yo, that was weird. Yeah. I watch a lot of weird stuff. That was weird.
Coming from you? You who put me on a human centipede?
I see what you're doing, and yes, I did do that. I'll own up to that.
You who put me... Hey, man, they made Old Boy already.
You should have known that by now.
But at the time, no.
Then I'm glad that I could broaden your horizons. Now, don't you feel richer and more worldly because of it?
Do you feel richer and more worldly because I gave you gotta have war?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I actually think about that
Fine.
all the time.
Fine.
Everybody, go read that book. It's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't even have to like baseball.
Not even a little bit. Do you like
stories?
Do you like
so good.
stories?
Robert Whiting has had so much fun. So much fun telling those stories.
So Clemson got this number one recruit.
His name is Bryan Bresee. Okay. Bryan Bresee is defensive lineman. And I played some sound that, well, Barton Simmons believes what Barton Simmons believes. Which
Bart
is
Simmons
is the director of scouting for 247.
Okay.
And they were he's one of 5, I believe, national recruiting analysts at 247 who put together the top 247, which is the rankings for 247. Now, the 247 composite comprises ESPN, 247, and, yes, Rivals, right?
Okay.
Industry generated. So 247 might give a kid 4 stars, but the composite might give him 5 because he was 5-star according to ESPN, Rivals, and rankings and so forth. So there was this discussion about who should be number one. And the guys that they were thinking about who should be number one in 2020 class are DJ Uiagalelei, Bryce Young, and Bryan Bresee. Bryan Bresee, you've seen him.
Yeah.
6'4", 290 pounds, tremendous hands inside the phone booth, great karate moves.
Yeah, no, this is one of those, like, you thought you've played or you've seen a kid that's big and fast and strong, and like, you ain't seen this kid. You ain't seen the. Not only have you not seen a 5-star, you've never seen the number one recruit in the country. Who is it? Barton says that this floor is 10. And even to say we're being
the NFL
generous.
draft in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And even if we're being generous, 20, which is wild for a kid that's coming right out of
You might even call it a bust for ranking a kid inside the top 5. Perspective here. I got to check this, but I believe I have this right. Do you know who was ranked ahead of Adrian Peterson in 2004?
2004.
Like, I'm thinking of a certain quarterback.
Ooh, I do not know.
Rhett Bomar.
Ooh. I'm
fairly certain that Rhett Bomar was number 4 and Adrian Peterson was number
Nope, be on your trivia team.
I'm wrong.
Take it back. I should not be on your trivia team.
No, the Twitters have me on this one. They would have me. They would destroy me, I'm sure. Because the 247 composite has him as the national number 1. Rhett Bomar's number 4.
Okay.
Excuse me. I had it flipped. All right. Early Doucette was number 5.
That's a name.
Right. So, like, just let's go through the 04, right?
Okay.
So let me try to redeem myself here. Number 1, Adrian Peterson. Number 2, Ted Ginn Jr.
Okay.
Number 3, Willie Williams.
I got nothing on that.
Right, exactly. 4 is Rhett Bomar.
Okay.
And 5 is Early Doucette. So, let me see. 6 is Brandon Miller.
Okay.
7 is Keith Rivers. 8 is Xavier Lee. 9 is Jeff Byers. And 10 is Jeff Schweiger. So I'm going through this list, and I'm telling you dudes I know, just going through 32, because the reason I wanted to bring this up is, one, talk about Bryan Bresee and Bryce Young and DJ Uiagalelei,
Yeah.
but also because I thought it was a really cool thing they did on the College Football Daily podcast, where they just mined 10 hours of conversation that the council had about how they're going to rank people. Because people want to know, how do these kids get ranked and what are they looking for? And
Yeah.
5 stars are not just supposed to be first-round draft picks. They're supposed to be first-round draft picks in the next 3 years. They're supposed to be early outs. Jerry Jeudy,
Got you.
Tua Tagovailoa, right? They're supposed to be those guys. And inevitably, you're going to get somebody wrong, but you're going to get several people wrong. You just don't want to get poorly. You don't want to be poor here. So, like, do you remember Xavier Carter? Because I remember
Carter was a quarterback.
No, he wide out at LSU. But I remember him because he was a phenomenal track athlete.
Yeah, no, that was the dude that was he like 6'4", 210, 215?
But
Just
was a 400-meter stallion.
burner, yeah.
Just flawless.
Yeah.
And he ended up being better at track than he was at football, you ask me. But he was number 17 recruit in the country. No, 18 is Chad friggin' Henne. You know, I mean, I'm going down this list. Calvin Johnson's 23 in this class. Would we say now that Calvin Johnson was a better pro than Adrian Peterson?
Give me that top 5 one more time.
Okay. Adrian Peterson's 1. Ted Ginn Jr. is 2. Willie Williams is 3. Rhett Bomar is 4. Early Doucette is 5.
I think you could make an argument that that he could be better than Adrian Peterson.
Right.
As long as Adrian Peterson keeps pumping out 800-yard seasons.
Yeah, it makes it difficult.
Yeah.
It makes it difficult because my man decided to hang it up before 30. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But we've never seen a Calvin Johnson. We've never seen Adrian Peterson. But we've never seen a Calvin Johnson. I mean, my man's name is Megatron.
Yeah.
You know? All right. So just going through that 32. Man, Chris Patterson was 28. I remember this dude. Outside linebacker, committed to sign to OU. And then number 30, Glenn Dorsey. Like, Dan Connor was the only other dude in here that I was like, oh yeah, that dude was good. Penn State linebacker.
You know that's I have a whole bunch of these cats are good in college.
Paul Puslesny.
It's hard to make it into the NFL.
Well, okay, so
hard to make it in the NFL.
So talking about Bryan Bresee just a little bit, right? Yeah. But I want to get there by saying Micah Parsons is also a 5-star, right? Micah Parsons did something Dan Connor couldn't do, Paul Puslesny couldn't do, and the other Nittany Lion linebackers in between him and LeVar Arrington. Okay? Consensus All-American. First one since LeVar Arrington. That's how good Micah Parsons is. 5-star. Just pointing that out. Because there's a bunch of great Penn State linebackers.
Absolutely.
Only Micah Parsons, LeVar Arrington in this stretch, in this 20-year stretch, have been able to do this.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
But, I mean, college football's been wild in that 20-year stretch.
But it also tells you how good Micah Parsons is.
Yeah.
Right. So, Bryan Bresee, right, being ranked even inside the top 5 for the 2020 class means that we're pegging you as a dude that we believe the floor is 10, 20. Right? You were Wall, you. Why do you end up at Clemson? When did that happen?
I feel like this is a thing that you said not too long ago that Clemson was getting as many 5-stars as possible. Every school wants to do that, but they've made it their goal to do that on, say, the defense and defensive line. Right? Get a quarterback, get D lineman. That's what you want. I mean, I think that if you're him, you're 18. So like, as long as you've been an active football watcher, Clemson's been that team. And if it's not Alabama or Ohio State, it's Clemson. Mm-hmm. And if you go there, that you know that they got just about every year that you've been watching football, 4 bell cows on the offensive line. You know how good you are. You've probably been sold that you're going to go there, you're going to develop, and also you'll maybe never see a double team. And so it's going to be a good time for you the entire time. That's a great pitch.
You had to develop that though. You had to develop that as a pitch.
Uh-huh.
Meaning you had to at some point overdevelop a bunch of kids into taking the spots that we awarded 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
So Isaiah Simmons, I think, is an example of this. And they lucked into Isaiah Simmons, right? Isaiah Simmons is Buckets Award winner. He's called a linebacker. They put him on the roster as a linebacker. He's a friggin' safety, okay? He's just a safety that can play Will or Mike or Sam, who can line up in a 4'9", and who can be your middle safety. If you want to play free safety, cool, but you're wasting him. He can do anything you ask him to do on a football field. Dax Hill, to me, is that dude. Mm-hmm. But Dax Hill's also a 5-star. Isaiah Simmons is a 3-star. How does Isaiah Simmons end up a 3-star and end up doing what he does at Clemson? Well, Brent Venables had a bunch of dudes declare for the NFL draft early playing his defensive backfield that he didn't expect to declare. Mm-hmm. So they were light, and they need to go find somebody. And he said this: we were desperate at safety. We needed somebody at safety. I heard about the kid in Olathe. I went to school at Kansas State. Mm-hmm. Cool. And when I saw him, and I saw how big he was, 6'4", 205, I hugged his whole body. I wrapped both of my arms around him, and I said, thank God I came to Olathe, Kansas. Found out that there was some recruiting to be done with Kansas because he had a brother that was playing there. Mm-hmm. But Kansas State hadn't even offered him. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of pissed because he's an alum, right? He's like, all right, fine. When I found out that he was going to leave the state, I felt like we were in good shape. Mm-hmm. But how does that dude end up a 3-star again? He didn't go to camps. So guys like Barton Simmons don't get to evaluate him against good, mm-hmm. right? And he played both ways. He was all-state as a safety and a wideout, but in Kansas, which ain't exactly,
It's not very talent rich.
Right. And then you go to Clemson, and Brent Venables overdevelops you, according to some of us, right? They seem to do that everywhere, mm-hmm. all at once, which to me is lightning. I told you over dinner, Larry Fedora has this philosophy that I believe, right? Which is, hey, I'm going to do what you asked me to do, which is to say, if you want to load the box, I'm going to throw it. If you want to drop 8, I'm going to run it. Because most defenses can stop you from running. Most defenses can stop you from passing. Rarely can they do both at the same time.
Right.
Right? And his 2015 offense set records at UNC, scored over 570. I think they scored 570. Right? They put up like 6,000 yards of offense.
Yeah, they were very good.
Right. They go 11-1. Their one loss is to Clemson, who ends up playing in the national championship game, losing by 5. And they lost the game to Clemson 45-37. My point here is, he was doing the same thing. He was overdeveloping a bunch of kids in a scheme that worked. It fell apart. He has 2 9-loss seasons. For Dabo, it just kept getting better.
So your big time programs, they have absolutely developed a pipeline. They absolutely have really good recruiters, but you can't discount like the luck factor into being great. So stuff like that is like you overdeveloped 3 stars. Like, well, lots of teams have 3 stars. They're not getting the type of production that Clemson's getting out of them. So either I don't want to say that somebody is just preternaturally great at developing talent. You can be very good at it, but you also have to be lucky to get that type of production, person to person to person to person, to be able to continue to be the Clemson that we know the last 5 years.
So, going back, see, it's 2020. It's going back 20 years. Okay, we can go back 30 years.
All right.
Draft your favorite cartoons.
Okay.
The 90s cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons. This came because I came across this Twitter post of this.
This infuriating.
Only to a certain subset of people for which we fit right in the middle. 90s kids. This bracket which had 1 seeds versus 1 seeds in opening rounds. Like putting X-Men up against Batman. wait, what? Why are we playing Kentucky and Duke in the first round?
Yeah, it's not as if they can't. It's not that they can't play. Is you shouldn't put them in the first round.
And doing stuff like putting Tiny Toons in the bracket in the first place.
I would have made
Sailor Moon.
I would have. So the big problem is that somebody made this, and the one bracket's too small, and the matchups were poor. I don't know necessarily that
Seeding on this is trash.
I was about to say I'm not gonna put. I wouldn't make a 64 team. I mean, I would. I'm not gonna do it now. We're not going to litigate a 64 team bracket of cartoons right now. But at the very least, we can draft our top 5, because I think what they did is they immediately discounted a lot of good stuff that say, so your X-Men the Animated Series and your Batman the Animated Series pretty much runs roughshod over most of the
field.
Yeah. But you eliminated them early, so I guess the Wild Thornberries got it. This is the
my God.
This is the wildest thing. Australia's on fire, but let me tell you about this cartoon bracket. Wildest thing I've seen in a long time. So, yeah, hit me with your top 5. Hit me with this with your number 1.
X-Men.
Okay.
Off the rip. Give me X-Men. Give me X-Men at 10 a.m. because, one, I get my parents to sit down with me and watch it. Like they wouldn't watch any this other trash, but X-Men's all cool. I guess we're all sitting here watching this for an hour.
Then so
half an hour.
Your parents are my parents, because that would be the same thing with me. Like, okay, so I finished my third bowl of cereal, and I go see what my mom's doing. She's looking at leaning forward, watching Storm be in this love triangle with Logan and Jean Grey, with your boy Scott Summers, and I'm like, this is like people say the cartoons are for kids, and I'd say the 90s, yes, they were whatever. They were just toy commercials, but they were good.
It has such an imprint on my brain that my mother is saved in my phone as a Royal Monroe, and her ringtone is the X-Men cartoons theme song. Right, every time it goes off.
No, so like it's
because people literally flip around like, is that what I think it is? Yes, my mom's calling. Yeah. No,
that's it also set me like on the path to geekdom as well, because every Bluetooth wireless device that I own is named after some sort of Marvel character or organization.
Who's yours?
Freakazoid.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Freakazoid is my list.
Truly a 90s child.
I know. Like, I mean, this is where we are.
Like you and I feel like Freakazoid's there with the Tick.
But it is so like
okay.
I don't want to name too many. Whatever. Your picks are your picks. But like Freakazoid and Animaniacs and Tiny Toons and the Tick, they're all these properties that are pretty much just riffing on Hollywood, the media, TV, film, right? It's a cartoon that's barely for kids, and that is pretty much like that's the mode that I've been in since I saw it. And Freakazoid is just like, it's this weird random humor, kind of Deadpool-esque, where things are happening. We're breaking the fourth wall. Is this a superhero? Is he even good at his job? Does it even matter? Is this a skit? Who is this large chicken? So on and so forth. Candle Jack. Don't say his name too many times or he'll carry you away. It's just real good. I think it's I'm say precursor, but it is. But to like a lot of cartoons of today, which I think are better than they've ever been. I think like the cartoons of the last like 10 years are better than the ones in the 90s. They're written better, they're more clever, and they make better references.
I'm raising my eyebrow because I'm the old person that stopped watching cartoons, so nothing could ever be better than what I've been watching.
Hey, nostalgia is a shield. Don't let anybody break that. Right. Let that be your Wakanda.
Let me tell you about vinyl, Ron.
The sound doesn't get much better, does it? Everything's just too clean and sterile sounding.
Please get away from me, old man.
I made that argument today about. Let me tell you about R&B back in the day. Who could beat Whitney and Luther Vandross?
Yo, man, Boys to Men looking real boys to grandpa in that NFC Championship game.
It was bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
Look, you say that.
Everybody
you
get
say
old.
that, but J-Lo.
Time beat Apollo.
J-Lo about to be 50
Yeah.
during the Super Bowl halftime.
To be fair.
And I saw Hustlers.
To be
you
fair.
saw Hustlers. And you know who's winning?
But you also know who can't sing? And who can barely act?
Time
No,
out.
we are on a strict schedule. Give me your number 2.
My number 2 is Rugrats.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's for all seasons, right? It is eminently watchable. At any point in time when it's on, you're going to see Big Noggin, whether it's Tommy's or Chucky's big red hair or Angelica just giving everybody the business or the twins being the twins. You always had something you could say to someone about something, and everybody would sit and turn and be like, oh, okay, cool. Let's watch this real slow-mo cartoon tip over on itself and then tip itself right back.
I imagine, like, if you are, like, you're the storyteller that you are today, you have a blog. I feel like that is one of the perfect picks for you because it's just, we're a beginning, a middle, and an end. We got 15 minutes. We got to get in and out, and it's going to make sense.
I do love plot.
Yes.
This is why I hate The Witcher.
Ooh. Did you? So the
Fight
thing,
me.
Which is bad. Fight me. The coolest thing about the Rugrats is that it's in the 90s. It gave you the Passover story in a way that I don't think a lot of kids get exposed to.
Yes, because it is wildly underrated that that family is wholly Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah, wildly underrated.
Tommy Pickles, coolest Jewish kid I know.
Also, saved your behind over and over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah. So there's this thing that was on Twitter not too long ago about the who would you follow into battle, Optimus Prime or Captain America? I'm like, no, give me Tommy Pickles.
We're gonna get out of this in one piece.
I will fight and die for that kid.
100%. Won't wipe him though.
Oh, absolutely. who I look like?
So you're number 2.
Dragon Ball Z.
Two black men sitting in a room. One of us is gonna do it.
Yeah, I
One of us is bound to do it.
You know, I'm me. Like I'm a person. I'm not part of the collective, so that's why Freak
Did
is
you
always
watch
my
it
number
with your
one.
shirt off?
Huh?
Did you watch it with your shirt off?
Yeah. How else am I supposed to power? I can't power with my shirt on. How am I supposed to get this KO Ken?
Oh my god.
No, like that's
100% the most rewatchable fight scenes ever. Between, I was standing on a step mill. Moving on a step mill. What am I watching? I'm watching my man Goku go at Jiren over and over again. Just exploding planets, meteorites. I'm getting high on Vegeta, just destroying people, and got just so savage with the comebacks. Every single time. Hey, Vegeta, yo man, I'm sorry to tell you, your whole entire planet and family, they've been destroyed.
Yeah, no, like
Cool, thanks for the update.
And you know this whole lot. And the cool thing is, like, this is the first, I mean, not the first real, but whenever I realized that I like anime. And so, like, the cartoons
Nice gateway drug.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, go ahead and put it in my veins. I saw it and I immediately freebased it. The cartoons that you watched growing up, Tom and Jerry, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they weren't hidden like these dudes. And all of a sudden, it's like, I didn't know that this was a thing that you could even have. And I'm like, yes, for the time, because I was watching, and I've become just the biggest weeb since then. Watching the dub, you know who's cool? Goku. Let me be this dude. Let me be Piccolo. Let me have potential like Gohan.
Potential. Realize doesn't matter. Potential.
Oh yeah, we're children,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, no, that's there's almost nothing better than
it's a solid 2.
Yeah.
It's a solid 2. I'm gonna go with the sleeper.
Okay.
Okay. I really like the way that they worked out the Senior Bowl. I watched a lot of tape. I think it's a great scheme fit. I'm not really into the combine numbers. I've seen what I need to see. And, I could end up Daniel Jones with this one.
I see.
I could also end up, maybe I just decided that Josh Allen was just that good.
Okay.
Okay. Tomcats.
Tomcats.
Mm-hmm.
Tomcats. Is that so? We have the cats, and they have a F-15.
Yes, right.
Yes,
That's right. And defending an entire city with this jet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no place this thing can't fly.
Hey, don't think about it too hard.
Wait, right. No. And the women that we are fighting for definitely want us. And they're definitely worth it. Just a sweet, suave, Top Gun-esque cartoon with cats as pilots.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the pitch room was. It's like, hey, I got this idea for a cartoon.
But the colors, have you seen the colors?
Not in a long time. You're gonna have to remind me.
Lots of Hulk green, lots of Hulk purple, lots of silhouette and shading. Okay, just kind of, it's got this real nice noir feel to it, but it's in color. Mm-hmm. It works. I think when somebody was watching G-Force, they were like, "What if we did this with cats?"
Someone's like, "We need to make a mood."
Well, I mean, forget wings and stuff. Let's put them in these, like, for real Tomcats. Mm-hmm. Put them in for real jets. Call them Tomcats. Anyway, that's my 2-pick. Somebody's being like, "Yo, man, did you just wait to 2-pick?" Well,
No, I don't. Like, first off, this is us. There's art to be found in Tomcats. There's almost nothing like it. And I'm actually going to follow it up with my own bit of aviation-based cartooning.
Okay.
Tailspin.
Whoa. Okay.
So Tailspin.
With Baloo and whatnot.
Yes. Okay. So it's the Jungle Book in the sky.
Yeah.
And like to me, like there's this idea that a lot of the weird ideas of the 80s and 90s were like cocaine fueled writers' room or like pitch meetings, and it's like, all right, so I got this idea. Somebody has already done the Rescuers or whatever, or the Rescue Rangers, and they said, okay, so that's a detective agency. What if we took the Jungle Book and turned them into a shipping company? And there's all sorts. There's an angry boss and a pilot that won't follow the rules, and also there's a kid with a boomerang that he flies through the sky in, and they make deliveries. Okay, what's Shere Khan do? He orders deliveries for his business. And I'm like, yeah, greenlight it, go. And it turns out to be one of my favorite workplace. It's just a workplace drama where they occasionally mess up a delivery. That's all it is, and it's so great. And there's a friend of mine who says the best parts of superhero stories or the thoughts of the Marvel and DC is that X-Men is that the best parts of it are whenever they're not doing anything. It's whenever they're just sitting around drinking coffee, trying to figure out what they're going to do next. And I could have sworn like Baloo and Rebecca, who is, I'm pretty sure was made for the show. They carry around clipboards all the time, just saying like, yeah, it's here. This isn't here.
That's a Josh Whedon tenet as well, right? With eating shawarma at the end of Avengers.
Yeah.
Trying to show them as human beings and in life, right? Mm-hmm. The things they have to navigate. No, it's a very good and underused, at the time, especially underused tool. So yes, bravo to you, sir. Tailspin. Man, okay.
Good.
Well, no.
And the theme song goes very hard.
That's what's winning, which is kind of where I get my pick.
Okay.
Right? The theme song pulls me in, keeps me there through the rest of the story. It's DuckTales. Okay?
Okay. I'm mad because that was going to be my pick.
See, this is why it's a draft.
I understand.
Because Scrooge doing one of these into the gold, mm-hmm. I'm here for it. The mm-hmm. crescendo, I'm here for the children. Look, I think it's telling also that, as I recall, Tailspin and DuckTales were back to back.
Yeah,
Like,
they're a package.
like after school. Yeah, because like you go from PBS with like Arthur to, I want to say, like Disney Channel or something.
Look at the big brain on this dude going watching PBS cartoons.
I had it down, dog.
Okay.
But no, first of all, Arthur and I don't want to give away my next pick, but I wasn't gonna pick Arthur.
Okay.
Anyway, DuckTales, go.
Yo, you messed up my whole.
That's why we're in the war room, baby.
I know.
You
So
know, you gotta. What was next on the board?
So this is not a Saturday morning cartoon, but this is a cartoon of a '90s kid, me, Ron, Speed Racer.
It's a good one.
So Speed Racer is a
Great movie. Underrated movie. Underrated.
Absolutely. I mean,
Tremendous movie.
maybe the best movie based off a
Cartoon.
manga or cartoon. Maybe. Well, so
Somebody in there like, there ain't no Battle Angel leader.
and no live die repeat. Wait till they make
Glad I've offended all.
Wait till they make
Man,
Akira.
do you think there are any like hardcore Alita Battle Angel fans that actually listen / watch this?
I would love for them to make themselves known, but
Like Miami fans?
It has a circulation of like 50 readers, so like I don't know. Maybe this is a
James Cameron is one of them.
yeah. There you go. If you you're rich enough, you make anything happen.
Yo, somebody tell Edward Norton to put the glasses back on.
So the Mach 5, Racer X, Pops.
It's good.
Yeah, and it's
good.
and it's just like, and it didn't click to me that these were death races.
What's homegirl's name?
It's not Penny. What's her name?
Christina Ricci.
I don't remember. Monkey's name is JoJo.
Look at us. We're such dudes.
What's that lady name? The girl. But to be fair, 90s boys. Who matters? Speed.
Man.
Racer X.
Man.
Oh, that's his. Did you know that's his brother? Did you know that's his brother? He thinks that he's dead.
Yo, man.
And they're doing all these races through copies of the same strip of the whole time. And the Mach 5, it can jump over stuff. It can spin. It's bulletproof.
It's a plane. It's a damn plane.
Somebody built this thing. And what's so wild about it is that Speed Racer seems to be the only vehicle that has this stuff. Like, what NASCAR pit crew chief is hiding all this stuff from inspection?
Except Racer X. Racer X is always 3 steps ahead of my man Speed Racer. My 5 what?
And I know that Speed Racer. This is one thing I think I should do as an adult is actually go watch the original run, because I know that it should make sense, and it shouldn't just be a whole bunch of episodes going, and then Speed has another race, and then Speed has another race. But yeah, no, that's absolutely me. It got me into cars. It's the reason why I'm so broke that I am, because I got 10 sets of wheels in a storage unit. Got all these parts that I'll never put on cars that I've already sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Joe Gibbs.
What are we? 5?
3, 4? I think I'm on 4. I believe I'm on 4.
What are your picks?
So, I had X-Men at 1.
Yes.
Right? I had, what did I have at 2? I should have been writing this down.
It happens. Rugrats.
3 was DuckTales.
Rugrats.
Rugrats 2. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I'm at 4. Right? And 4 was going to be Magic School Bus.
You said Tomcats, right?
I'm at 5.
Okay.
Okay. Because
you know what?
2 Rugrats.
I just realized right now.
4 DuckTales. 5.
I just realized right now that I was thinking SWAT cats whenever you said Tomcats. And
we got to the same story.
Yeah.
You know what? The comments
were they different?
They'll figure it
Who
out.
knows?
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
It was 30 years ago.
Magic School Bus.
Magic School. Ooh.
That's 5.
Ooh.
Magic School Bus.
That's a fantastic pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
I thought I tipped my hand with the Arthur Aardvark and the PBS stuff. But
Oh yeah, I mean, that was PBS. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
it was on there too.
Right, so that is a show that made me late for school every day. They put it on at the exact time, or like right as it got to the climax where I was supposed to be at the bus stop.
Damn.
Yeah, it was tough. It was real tough. And but the going into what's the kid with the glasses name? Arnold's body. The episode where they deal with like zero friction. What's the other one? First off, I could make up an episode. It's like, oh, the one where they go to a comet.
That's what I loved about it. Like the one where they go to the center of the earth.
Yeah, exactly. You remember that one?
Yeah, the one where they're on Pluto.
The one where they shrink to the size of an ant and go into an ant colony.
But the things that we would call out is like, yo, Miss Frizzle ain't got no sister. What you talking about, man? it's trash. What is this? What is this plot? What you mean she got a sister? Ain't no way. Wait, her sister does the show now? What? No. What's Miss Frizzle doing?
He said time out. Bring her back.
Right.
You better go behind them curtains.
Who greenlit this? Yo, nah. Like, if for no other reason than I knew I was gonna learn something, but I hated science. I love Miss Frizzle.
Well, I mean, it made a lot of science is math.
Yeah,
but if you just tell me like
I got a blog that tells you what you need.
I was about to say these rocks are like this. These stones are like this. Water does this. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Don't give me. Don't have me doing like measuring solutions of X to mix with Y.
Tell me a story. Make it magical.
Give me this school bus putting kids in mortal danger.
Oh God. So what's your 5?
You kind of stole that one from me. So give me a second. I would say that the 90 Rocco's Modern Life. There you go. Close it out, and it's just more of the weird stuff. It's a cartoon that's not about.
Came out at the same time as Ren and Stimpy, right?
It's the same era. Like,
yeah.
If you remember it, then yeah, it's about the same.
By the way, if you're yelling Beavis and Butthead in South Park, you weren't actually paying attention to what we were actually putting together, were you?
I mean, to be fair, the South Park came out in the 90s. It's a 90s cartoon.
But it's not the kind of 90s cartoon that a kid that grew up in the 90s gets to watch. Unless your parents are also the kind that let you watch Harlem Nights and Coming to America, for which I had those. But my parents also aren't going to sit down and watch South Park and Beavis and Butthead with me. They're going to sit down and explain Harlem Nights and Coming to America.
Like, I feel like a lot of the people that are your fans and followers, people that your subscribers, definitely had a TV in their room in the 90s, and the parents said, "Hey, you shouldn't watch this stuff." Well, but they did anyway. And
I'm an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, looks like you turned out. Wait, so you telling me that you didn't watch South Park and you became an Eagle Scout? Like that's the trajectory. The good kids.
I'm saying that both things are true.
Okay.
Both things are true.
Anyway, it's macabre, it's weird, it's gross, but not in like the discomforting way that Ren and Stimpy is. It's just enough to let you dip your toe into like this postmodern style of storytelling where we're making fun of musicals. We're not letting the good guy win, especially like in cartoons. We were talking about like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all your action stuff on definitely actually Saturday morning. This is just a whole bunch of there will be no lessons learned. What you'll take this and you'll like it style of cartoons. And that is what I've come to really expect and really want from my media. Thanks, Rocco's Modern Life. I'm glad they brought it back too. It's actually really good. You should go ahead and check it out. Same thing with the new DuckTales. DuckTales, real good.
Yes to the DuckTales, no to Rocco's Modern Life. But, okay. Fine. On that note, we will save the gentleman bit for when you watch it.
Okay.
Which I hope will be this week because I think Colin Farrell and Hugh Grant had one hell of a good time. And most people do in a Guy Ritchie movie, but I choose to point those two guys out in particular because I enjoyed them most. This is fun.
I think so too. Now we should do this more often.
I hope we got it on tape, and I also hope that I'm gonna turn the air off now.
Okay.
Because my face is melting.
I cannot feel my fingers. We are two different people.
You're cold?
Very. Frozen.
How?
That's why we had to take a break. I had to go. I lied. I wasn't making any phone calls. I had to go make a trash can fire to warm up my body. So I guess let's end this dumpster fire.
I feel like I could be Johnny Torch or Johnny Flame right now, or just Human Torch.
Johnny Torch.
Nope, Human Torch.
Human Flame. Cinder
Damn
from,
it, Fantastic Four.
Cinder from Killer Instinct.